Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The Batman has hit $500 million. In fact, it's gone past $500 million. I like to do these updates on various movies sometimes, especially like the big blockbusters. It's always interesting to keep track of it, and it's quite telling, I guess, on various industry movements here and there on what will occur moving forwards. I mean, this still has yet to release in China. It'll be interesting to see how Warner Brothers reacts to this with their DC universe and then their Batverse as well. Hence why it's always interesting to cover the box office receipts. So Warner Brothers DC The Batman has winged its way past the $500 million mark worldwide to become the fourth highest grossing studio release of the pandemic era. Shut up, no one cares about that anymore. The global total is $505.8 million through Wednesday, and there's still plenty of gas left in the Batmobile. I mean, there is not really a movie coming out that's going to be able to compete with it. There's Morbius. I can't see that competing with it that much. The thing that will happen with the Batman is it's going to eat into its own sales when it goes on HBO Max release, which was all... that was released, the news on that was released yesterday and the day before. Loads of people were talking about that. Oh, it's coming in late April, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So, that's going to be the thing which eats into its release, its box office on the wide release. The split on the critically praised Matt Reeves directed pick is 258.3 domestic, so that's just in the States, and 247.5 million international, worldwide. That's quite good, actually. I would have expected maybe a little bit more domestic in the States, but not bad. Not too bad at all, especially the 247 million international. So, yeah. But here's the broader look at it all. Robert Pattinson's turn in the Batsuit started offshore rollout early in Korea on March 1st, and across its first weekend in 74 overseas markets. So it's actually done... It's gone to quite a lot of markets, but it had 124.2 million, and this wrapped the top international opening of 2022. Warner Brothers' best pandemic-era offshore debut, and its best internationally since Joker. So, again, this is why I do these videos, because loads of people are like, oh, slow news day, shut the fuck up. This is interesting, because to analyse the box office and how things move forward, especially when you compare, this is the best offshore debut and its best internationally since the Joker. I mean, don't you think Warner Brothers is going to look at that and go, maybe we should start focusing, like superheroes are big, but maybe we should start focusing on a little bit more of the adult content as opposed to our DCEU, which is certainly, a pertinent discussion when you've got the Discovery merger going through and loads of people believing that Zack Snyder's going to get his universe back. I mean, look, even the Joker outcompeted internationally the DCEU. So this is why I do these videos, and this is why it's important to do them, because again, moving forwards, of course it's all speculation, but this is information that the studio is going to look at. It really, really is. Now that's the best international since 2019, which, yeah, sure, admittedly, was essentially just before Christmas, New Year, and then obviously subsequently into spring, and then that's when the pandemic, sort of first occurred. But that is also as well its third biggest overseas pandemic era debut in like-for-like markets, behind Spider-Man No Way Home and No Time to Die. So again, it's going to look at that. Warner Brothers will look at that and go, yeah, what can we do to replicate this? Studios are in the business of making money, aside from obviously, a bunch of the garbage stuff that they keep releasing. But they will look at that. They will. The global launch, including domestics, $134 million, was $258.2 million, smashing Warner Brothers' pandemic-era records. The film also hit that benchmark across 62 individual markets, including France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the UK, Australia, Korea, Brazil, Mexico. The Batman's further scored the biggest ever debut for a DC film in 7 markets. And the biggest ever opening market for a Warner Brothers picture release in Ireland. Again, all metrics that they're going to take a look at and go, how can we look, this is a success for them. They're going to want to replicate it. I think they'll be definitely looking at this with respect to the Joker. I mean, international, offshore, since the Joker. I mean, that's bloody good going for them. And again, the biggest ever debut for a DC film in 7 of those markets. And the biggest ever opening for in Ireland. Now, Ireland's not a massive market. Of course it's not. But again, they're still going to see this as a success. If you're going to compare DC films to DC films directly, this has been more successful. Now, the Batman releases in China on Friday, in the early hours of the morning locally. It is currently atop the chart, and a COVID spike has forced some cinema closures, however, which could impact the market. This film's not going to do particularly well in China. I think it will struggle to hit like $50 to $60 million. Personally, I think it will actually really struggle to hit that, but we'll see. Warner Brothers Pictures chairman Toby Emmerich said today, "We couldn't be more thrilled to see people all over the world enjoying the Batman in theatres. Matt Reeves has delivered an extraordinary film that manages to honour the legacy of this global cultural hero while taking moviegoers into an experience that feels fresh and original. We congratulate Matt, Dylan, Walter, Chantal, Robert and Zoe and the entire cast and crew on this wonderful benchmark." And they will be. I mean, well, yeah, they certainly will be. Toby Emmerich basically sucking Matt Reeves' D. Starring alongside Patterson, of course, is Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, who actually was really, really good in his role of Falcone. I thought he was really good. Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis, Colin Farrell. And Reeves directed from a screenplay by Reeves and Peter Craig. Dylan Clark, Reeves produced the film. And of course, they're moving ahead with a lot of their productions going on over at HBO Max now. So, it's done really well. $500 million, great. Absolutely great. It's not an exceptionally fantastic taking, but it's really good when you're comparing it to other products that Warner Brothers is looking to push. I mean, I don't think, most people didn't think this was going to do that well. I don't think, Warner Brothers were a bit tentative of it. Like, they weren't sure it was going to do particularly well. We knew that anyway because Matt Reeves had only just started talking about sequels when, publicly anyway, when some of the short-range tracking had been released by box office analysts, and they were like, this is probably going to do okay now. And that's when they started to openly talk about sequels. But there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please do drop them down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe, give the video a like, and do share it. Turn the bell notifications on to all. Check out the links in the description box. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram. Again, the links are down there. And you can check out my second channel. You might like it, you might not, but you're not going to know unless you check it out. Cheers, guys. Take care.